What's going on, guys? It's been a while. I wanted to hop in here real quick and do a quick recording. I've gotten a lot of requests for a 2026 NFL playoff bracket. As you may or may not know, I'm a big Bears fan. Super excited to see the Bears back in the playoffs. And depending on who you ask, maybe not exactly happy to see Green Bay coming to town for a third time this year. So good game, could go either way. But I've been seeing a lot of people request a playoff bracket, so here we are. Starting with the AFC, looking at the wild card round between the Patriots and the Chargers. Sorry, Chargers fans. I think the Patriots are going to give you too much to handle. Um, the oh, there we go. um, Bills and Jags. I love what the Jags have been doing. They've been taking the ball away all year long and has a really stout defense that have been pretty tough for other people to overcome, other teams to overcome. The Bills, on the other hand, they have been so hot and cold that I don't know that I can trust them. Even though, yes, I know Josh Allen's still the quarterback. He's still amazing. He could turn it on at any moment and they could go all the way to the Super Bowl. But for this particular instance, I'm taking the Jags. The Texans and the Steelers. This is a very interesting matchup because this is at Pittsburgh, if I'm not mistaken. Aaron Rodgers is the 90-year-old GOAT, apparently. And that really pains me to say after watching him torch my Bears for the last 20 plus years, it seems like. Um, I think this game comes down to the wire. Game-winning field goal, maybe. But honestly, I think the Texan defense is going to hold strong. I think they're going to pull it off against Pittsburgh. I really like the Pittsburgh offense, but I think the Texans just have it clicking too well right now. They're on a crazy win streak. There's no way, right? Jags and Patriots. This will be a really fun game to watch. I'm not typically one to sit all day and watch football because I got other shit going on. But I think this is going to be the first time in a long time that I actually watch every single playoff game, Saturday and Sunday. Um, Jags, Patriots, New England at home. As great as the Jags defense is, maybe Drake May gets playoff jitters as his first playoff appearance. It's very possible, but I also have questions on the first year head coach of the Jags. Does that story ever come to an end? Do they go to the bowl? Do they not? I'm saying they do not. I think Drake May overcomes it with Mike Vrabel, and they pull it off the win. Texans and Broncos. I could be wrong here. Same kind of similar situation. First year, Bo Nix has been in the playoffs. Denver offense has been hot and cold, but their defense has remained amazing. I don't know really. This is a tough one. It could really go again either way. CJ Stroud could turn it on. Um, I honestly think the Denver defense does just enough to pull out the win and kind of go from there. As far as the wild card for the NFC goes, starting with Bears Packers. Yes, I'm a Bears fan. No, I'm gonna try to be as fair as humanly possible here. As much as I would love to see the Bears advance, this could go easily the Packers' way. Both games that they've played so far has come down to the wire. One including overtime, the other a game sealing pick uh, by the Packers. So, you know, who knows, man? This could be another overtime game. Whoever has the ball last, it could come down to a field goal. Personally, I think the score of this game is going to be like 24-21. I think it's going to rest on the foot of a field goal kicker, potentially. Uh, Bears are fourth quarter champions. Apparently, Caleb Williams is like six, maybe seven game winning drives all season long, which is like the most out of every quarterback, I think, in the NFL right now. Jordan Love is coming back from his concussion. Sorry about that. It wasn't a dirty hit, in my opinion. Whatever. Anyway, they're going to have Josh Jacobs. They're going to have Christian Watson. They're going to have Romeo Dobbs. They're going to have all these great wide receivers. Their defense has still been pretty good all year, minus obviously not having Micah Parsons. Um, I would like to see the Bears have the edge in this game, just starting off hot. I will say This game belongs 100% to the Packers if the Bears fluctuate in any way, shape, or form. As far as their offense, they can't be hot and cold like that. They got to start off strong and end strong, and the defense has to play well and take the ball away. If they don't do that, this is the Packers all day long. But from the sake of Caleb Williams and the fourth quarter comeback Kings, I'm going to give it to the Bears. I swear to God, I'm not biased. Going from the Niners to the Eagles, I think the Niners actually have a really good offense. I think they're, you know, getting it done even without Brandon Ayuk and some of those other top guys, if you want to classify Brandon Ayuk as a top guy. The Eagles offense, they seem very hit and miss all season long. Jalen Hurts has went through some interception struggles. It feels like he's not running as often. Maybe it's just me, but it just doesn't feel like he's running all that much. Purdy has looked crazy. Since when does that dude scramble for like 3 touchdowns a game? I don't know. Maybe it was just against a really poor Chicago defense that last time, but that was nuts. And his balls were accurately placed. Like he had some pretty very very nice dimes. I think the Niners win it. I really do. I think they outlast the Eagles. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. Rams, Panthers. Panthers did get the upset on the Rams earlier in the year. Does not happen a second time. Lightning does not strike twice. Rams win that. Divisional round, starting with the San Fran and the Hawks interdivisional matchup, or I guess yeah, divisional matchup. Seahawks defense and Sam Darnold has been pretty stout all season long. They got a great running game behind Walker. They have Sam Darnold, of course, who's led 2 teams back to back to 1 seeds, I think. 1, 2 seeds, 14 win teams. Like, that's kind of nuts. Um, and I'm really not a fan of Sam Darnold. I really honestly thought that he was just going to be done, kind of turn over and turn the page and retire. Apparently, dude's got other plans. But I don't see the Niners getting past that defense. I think Seattle moves on. Um, Divisional round, game number 2, Rams Bears. Matt Stafford's a beast. He's always been a beast. I've always been a fan of Matt Stafford, even though he has had a lot of really good games against the Bears and all that fun stuff in the past as a Lion, and obviously playing as a Ram, he's been amazing. The Rams have a lot of offense, like a lot of offensive weapons. Puka Nakua, is a main target for them. Obviously, Kyron Williams is a great running back. Uh, I, as much as I love to say that the Bears just, oh yeah, man, the Bears are going to go and win this game, I don't see it. Um, we're potentially at home, against the Rams now. At this point in time, it is very possible. It's cold, it's crappy weather. I don't know how the Rams are going to fare. That's obviously advantage Chicago, but at the same time, I don't know that I trust the Bears defense to be able to hold Matthew Stafford and all those weapons uh, at bay long enough to win this game. I think I have to give it to the Rams. I hope I'm wrong, but I got to give it to the Rams. Um, Conference AFC, man, 1 and 2 seeds going head to head. It's kind of crazy. I think Denver collapses in the fourth quarter. I think that's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a really close game. Again, another one of those games that comes down to like a field goal. Um, we never got to see this matchup in the regular season, and I really wish we would have. But the Patriots and Broncos, that's just such a fun thing to think about, and how each game could turn the tide. I'm sure there's going to be a billion lead changes. Each team's going to have takeaways on defensively. I think offenses both are going to leave things out on the field they're going to wish that they had back. I feel like that happens every game for any team. But in this game, this hurts a little bit more than the rest. Personally, I think the Patriots pull it off. They move on to the Super Bowl. Lastly, NFC conference game, another divisional game for the Hawks and the Rams. Matthew Stafford and Sam Darnold. That is a very fun matchup because not only do divisional opponents tend to play very strongly against each other, but this is now going to be the third time the Seahawks have seen both the Niners and the Rams in a regular season and now postseason. Um, I think the Seahawks played very, very well all season long defensively. I think the Rams do very well in this game, but I don't think they do well enough to beat Seattle. I think Sam Darnold takes them down and gets them where they need to be, and wins that game. Probably a 7 point game if I were to put a spread on it, I guess. Um, and here's the fun thing. Super Bowl. We get a little rematch of what happens. Do you throw the ball at the 1 yard line? Do you run it? What's gonna happen? I think this is where Mike Vrabel has an interesting approach with this. I think he is a great candidate for the head coach of the Patriots. I think they're going to love him in New England for a very long time. But I don't foresee him being able to outplay the Seattle defense. I think Drake May is under a lot of pressure with that Seattle defensive line. Linebackers are solid. Honestly, I couldn't tell you a negative that the Seattle defense has. I think we do this the right way this time and run the ball at the 1 yard line, so to speak. And I think that puts the Seattle Seahawks as your 2026 Super Bowl champions. Let me know if I'm wrong. Comment below. Um, if you're placing any bets on the games this weekend, good luck. And I hope that I'm right. I will be placing a few myself. If this turns out going pretty well, I think I'll try to do a little bit different of one for next season where we can start doing, S to D tier ranks of teams or records, however we want to play that out. Um, Let me know your thoughts of the playoffs down below in the comments, and I'll get to as many as I can. So thank you guys for watching, and good luck for your favorite team who's in the playoffs. If not, there's always next year. See you guys.